Money is a terrible master, but an excellent servant. I would like to request Pranavesh sir to add his input on this quote.
Yeah, money. So actually, when I always say money is a funny monkey. Uh, if you chase it, it will keep eluding you. That is how it is. So wealth is something that you need to always create and save it off.
Good evening to one and all present here. I, Salita, and
Shruti.
the host for today's show, welcome you all to the presentation phase of the Battle of Great Minds Season 2, an initiative by L&D Global Mumbai and Connect Talks.
The Battle of Great Minds is brainchild initiative by L&D Global Mumbai and Connect Talks. It is the second season which has a thought process of mentoring the youth millennials and bring out the best talent in the society. We have an amazing panel of mentors with us today. Priya Mishra ma'am, Avni Bhatnagar ma'am, Sonu Bajaj sir, Pradeep Pardesi sir and Kamal Jeswani sir. Now, let us meet a great manager, mentor, teacher and guide.
The person inspiring us every day, every minute. Our captain, Mr. Pranavesh Shenoy, the chapter director of L&D Global Mumbai.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, starting off with today's presentation, we have the very talented Group A, the Brainiacs, who believe in moving together towards a better tomorrow, with the topic Insight into Cult Eco.
So namaste everyone. Our topic for today's presentation is Insight with Cult Eco. First question which will come in your mind is why you selected this topic. The reason for selecting this topic is the word Sone Ki Chidiya. Who was known as Sone Ki Chidiya? Definitely, it was our country India who was known as Sone Ki Chidiya. Because of whom? That was the answer is given in your first slide. Who is considered as the father of economics? Adam Smith? Really? No, it's Acharya Chanakya. It's Acharya Chanakya Arthashastra which make India known as Sone Ki Chidiya. It was from the year 353 BC Maurya dynasty to 3rd century CE Gupta dynasty. Acharya Chanakya's Arthashastra was used. So what was there in that culture? What was there in that economy which make India known as Sone Ki Chidiya? The first question is what is cultural economy? According to Chanakya, a king should always focus on his treasury. His treasure should always fill with wealth. If the king is not wealthy, then he won't be able to give his people a good life. So what is the role of culture in economic development? So in India, everybody's ancestors were farmers and you all will agree with that. So during that time, if farmer produced 10 kg of rice, so he have to give 1/4 of his income as a tax, that is 2.5 kg should be given as a tax. So how cultural and economy is influencing each other. So what is economy? Economy is the use of resources. And what is culture? The lifestyle and habitual characteristics of people of that nation or society. So culture was our agriculture and economy is the use of resources. So by using agriculture, we were using resources and from resources we were getting outcomes. So that was boosting up the economy. So why we should care about our cultural economic development? Because it made us known as Sone Ki Chidiya. It's 2000 years now and still we have some impact. In India, more than 50% of land are under agriculture. So as we will move ahead in this presentation, you will get to know during this lockdown which fields are under financial crisis, which are profitable sector, and you will know about agriculture. Over to you, Sejal.
While millions face the disease, almost all are facing economic hurdles. No sector is untouched and no impact is too small. The figures mentioned in the slides are in lakhs and crores. A. The financial services and the real estate sector. The best of India's banks and companies are in a spot as the pandemic-related lockdown brings businesses to a halt. Experts expect the financiers, both for the corporate as well as the consumer loans, to look for repayments. Also, investments have come to a complete standstill. Second, mining, quarrying, and the construction sector. It is very important to understand that metals are part of the process industry, therefore, they are exempted from complete lockdown, while some of the units are working but with less number of staff. Also, the consumption industries are coming to a halt, which has led to a deep recession globally. Third, hotel, transport, communication, and services sector. Factors that were driving the hospitality industry before the lockdown were new travel trends, web presence of various hotels, online banking, disposable income, and many more. But now the factors that are affecting the market includes the reduction in tours and travels as the government is cancelling most of the flights. Now, because of this lockdown, the hospitality industry is slowing down. Fourth, the manufacturing sector. The manufacturing sector has been hit in various ways due to the lockdown. All the manufacturing is stopped except the rice milling sector where the production is dropped by half. All the migrant workers, semi-skilled and unskilled workers in large numbers have moved to their hometowns. The movement of people, fuels have come to an abrupt standstill. Now over to my teammate Ria.
So there are few sectors, even after the COVID-19, they are in profit. Some of them are agriculture. Even after this lockdown, the demand for food isn't more, but they are not able to supply it as much as needed. Second being healthcare. Due to this pandemic, the need for healthcare is increased as the number of patients have increased, and so other facilities. Third being online education. Even after this lockdown, the spread of education has not stopped. Students are made to attend online lectures and they are being engaged during this lockdown. Fourth, insurance. Due to this pandemic, people are more concerned about their own and their loved ones' life. So even insurance companies are in a profit. Fifth and the last one being the telecom sector. Due to the lockdown, the use of such services has increased and we are still able to connect with the outer world. Over to you, Megha.
So we did a short survey including 6 questions among 50 people. The first question was, are you aware of the term GDP? 4% people aren't aware of this term. So GDP is gross domestic product. It is basically the monetary value of all finished goods and services in a country in a specific period. The next question was, do you think agricultural sector would help in increasing GDP? I agree to the fact that it doesn't contribute major part, but it contributes 17.3%. So basically, if agriculture productivity increases, the GDP will also increase. The next question was, are you aware about the contribution of agricultural sector in GDP? 44% people were right about this, as it is 17.3%. Moving on to next question, do you think pandemic has affected the agricultural sector? As we know that only a few farmers could transport their goods to the cities and those who could had to sell them at low cost. So it has affected there were rumors in India that COVID-19 is spread due to the consumption of chicken, so it has also affected livestock market. The next question was, do you think there will be more demand of agriculture products after the pandemic? During pandemic, people only buy the essential goods. Once people get back to normal lifestyle and start earning, there may be more demand of overall agricultural products. The last question was, which of the agricultural sector contributes most in GDP? Most of the people think it's crop production, but livestock production contributes most in GDP. Over to Adit.
So today I'm going to explain to you about the different parts on how agriculture is going to be the major factor that's going to help the GDP of India. So agriculture, we have shown you 5 stages of agriculture, when it was born and how it's going to reach now. Before the British era, agriculture was very good. It was born in India. There are a lot of good trades, and hence the reason India was called Sone Ki Chidiya. During the British era, the agriculture doomed down because British started taking 4 by 5th of your amount of crops that you grow as tax, and due to that, the agriculture production started reducing. Agriculture post-independence era was quite good. It contributed to 50% of the GDP at that particular point. And agriculture in the last 10 years have been slowly decreasing down. It was 50% in 1947, and it's close to 17.3% for the GDP. But what we believe is that after COVID-19, agriculture is going to play a huge role, and I'll tell you why. Firstly, let us look at the difficulties that we have if we do agriculture. The first is labor availability. Labor availability is going to be the prime stage 1 factor that's going to affect agriculture, because a lot of people are not going to come to a farm. That's one thing. The second part is seed and fertilizer availability. Due to the COVID-19 situation, a lot of manufacturing have stopped, which has stopped manufacturing fertilizers, which may hurt the agricultural sector. which is followed by crop loans. So crop loans is an important factor for every farmer, and the government is taking a lot of initiatives to deal with crop loan, but still it's a big problem in a farmer's life. And followed by inevitable taxes markets due to transportation mistakes and transportation stops. A particular market cannot be searched by the farmer because of the disruption in the transportation. So that is one major factor. But the impact on economics of agriculture is so big that we can give away with all these issues. The first and the foremost impact that we all should look out is for the fact of food and raw material. If we increase the agricultural production at this particular point, there's already a shortage of food and raw materials in India, and if we start doing agriculture a lot, we can surplus that mistake. Second thing is providing investable surplus. Or investing in agriculture is found to be a good resource by a lot of investors, because agriculture is a form of sector where you'll always get returns, and mostly you'll get returns, which is forwarded by foreign exchange. Due to by doing agriculture, it may help the foreign exchange rate of our country. And lastly, but not big, it will also increase the GDP of our country. At currently 17.3% is dependent on agriculture, but we plan to hit the target of 25 by 2025. And if we follow all these things, we believe that India can once again be called the Sone ki Chidiya. And COVID-19 is going to play a huge role on how businesses are going to be done in India. And I think agricultural and livestock production is going to be the next big boom. I think after the 2008 dot-com boom, I think this is going to be the next big boom in India. Thank you.
So hereby we come to an end to the first presentation of the second genre, which is financial inclusion. I hope you all enjoyed it.
That was an amazing session. Thank you everyone for attending it and making it successful. See you guys in the next episode.